Eddie Trunk on social media and support all things hard and heavy. You're listening to Trunk Nation. Eddie Trunk, Sirius XM, Faction Talk.
All right, well, 844-686-5863. We'll let you jump in anything you want in rock music. Joey in New York gets us started. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Eddie? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
Have you ever been to Alaska?
No, I had the opportunity a couple times, but I've not gone. Have you?
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to tell you about. So I just got back. The goal was to see the Northern Lights because they begin in September, the first week of September, late August. Too cloudy. We didn't get to see that. We did see Grizzlies and whatnot. But there's not a whole lot going on in Alaska, so there's nothing to do there unless you're going to, stay away from getting eaten by grizzlies. There's not a whole lot to do. So I was like, let's go to a movie. So I'm looking, and there's the Reagan movie. So we go, and I'll figure, I'll get my money's worth, get 2 hours over, on a movie, blockbuster kind of big budget thing. So we went and saw in Alaska the Reagan movie. So we're sitting there watching it, and about halfway through, about a half an hour into it, and I'm lit, and so Dennis Quaid is playing Reagan, right? And he's doing like these ridiculous, like bar gigs, almost like Jake LaMotta and Raging Bull, like these pathetic shows. And there comes Gene Simmons' song, that little ditty that he just recorded, and it came up about halfway in the movie. The guy's playing a bar, Ronald Reagan, and the Gene Simmons song is the bar music, it's the background music. And I got to tell you, man, it was great. It was perfectly placed. It didn't pop up at the end credits, and it was perfect. I thought, and they played the whole thing you played on your show. They played in the film the whole ditty.
Gene's not actually in it. Gene's not actually seen, right? You just hear the song.
You hear the song, but it's very clear. It's very present. Like once you know it's him, and it works. It works perfectly. It's not campy. Like it works perfectly with that kind of bar scene where he's on stage, and it's like it's a dump. He's at the bottom of his career, kind of as an actor before he got into politics. So I wanted to share that with you. It was very well placed because it's usually in these films when these people put these songs, it usually pops up in the beginning or the ending credits. This one actually is part of the actual scene of the bar scene, and I thought it was very well placed. And finally, I wanted to ask you, if you have any stories about Alaska, because I don't know.
No, I've never been there, but there's a time of year where you go where it's like dark 24 hours a day, right? Were you there then?
Yeah. No, I actually went there when it's 24-hour sunlight. But at this point, when I went, which was a couple of weeks ago, you get 3 to 4 hours pure darkness. That's where you get to see the Northern Lights. So no, it was not like I was there like the Al Pacino movie where it's just like you had to block out the windows. There's not a whole lot to do there, but the point is the Gene Simmons song, it really works in the movie, and it's very well placed.
Well, Joey, the guy who's the music director on that film is the one who sent that to me, and he's a listener of the show, which is why he sent it to me. So if he's listening right now, he'd be very happy to hear you say that, because that's his job, and that was his role with the movie. I'm curious one other thing, because I've not seen that movie yet. If you were listening yesterday, we had Mark Tremonti on, and we were talking about the fact that Scott Stapp is in it playing Sinatra. Did you see him in it?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. All the acting is fantastic. Yeah, the movie's very well done. Dennis Quaid was fantastic. He was great as Sinatra. Yep.
So he's actually in it. So you actually see Stapp, and is he singing? Is he singing Sinatra in the movie?
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty cool. I got to watch it. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate that. Joey going to Alaska and then sitting in a movie theater. Running from grizzly bears. How quick can I get there? Let's go. Those northern lights better be pretty darn cool to go through all that. I was running from bears in Tennessee a couple weeks ago. Not grizzlies, but black bears. Didn't see, grizzlies, but I think I was telling you guys this. In that area of Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, there's black bears all over the place. And this year there were more than normal because apparently there was a fire and they got displaced and they were coming into the town. And even in my hotel, there was a note on the bed and it said what to do if you encounter one and what you don't do and all that. And you still had people there on vacation or whatever, all tanked up, like, I'm going to go run after a bear. And then, of course, they come back and their face is missing. I mean, I'm like, no, I just want to get from point A to point B and not encounter a bear. In New Jersey, we have them here. They're not as prominent, but we have them. I mean, right by my house, they're all over the place here at certain times. As a matter of fact, one year they even did a hunt, like right up the street from one of my houses. And it was very controversial, but they did it because there were so many of them that they had to kind of thin it out. They were getting in people's garbage and stuff. Grizzly bear's a whole other level. I'm good on that. But yeah, I had the opportunity. My booking agent a few years ago offered for me to go to Alaska to it was like going with LA Guns or something, hosting an LA Guns club show in Alaska. And I'm like, if I'm going to make that trip, especially from the East Coast, there better be some, it's going to be straight. There better be good money coming in. There better be a good offer. Because I am, I'm not going to go through all that, a couple $100. So that one didn't happen. And I think I had a radio affiliate in Alaska once, but yeah, I've never been there. But yes, Stapp in that movie is ironic. If you heard the interview yesterday when we had Mark Tremonti on, and as usual, it's on the app if you didn't, we talked about that because the irony of that is that Tremonti is Mr. Sinatra, and Stapp is in the movie playing Sinatra. And Mark didn't even know it until the movie came out and he heard about it. And Scott said to him, yeah, they had me do that like 5-6 years ago and it's just coming out now. So you got to think Tremonti's like burning inside, being like, fuck, that should have been me. I'm the guy doing Sinatra. That's one thing I'd love to do at some point. That's another bucket list thing. I'd love to be in a movie. I know, not as any sort of real actor, but just even a little cameo like that, a little part. I always tell people, I'm like, hey, if you're looking for somebody to play a radio DJ or something, come on. And if you get a couple lines, who knows, maybe you get a little residual action. I've been in a ton of documentaries, obviously, but I mean like a movie. So that was cool that Stapp got to do that. And the Gene Simmons song, we talked about it. We premiered that little clip, and now it's in the movie. And that was directly because the guy who worked on that movie is a Trunk Nation listener and sent it to me. So that's cool to hear that it worked well.
No sun up in the sky, stormy weather. Since you and I ain't together, keeps raining all the time. Oh yeah, life is bad, gloom and misery. Stormy weather.
That's Gene Simmons. Reminds me of, if you know his version of When You Wish Upon a Star, which is on his 78 solo album, it's kind of a little bit in that mode. Obviously way out of character for the God of Thunder and the Demon and all that, but a totally different vibe there from Gene.
But that indeed is a new recording of Gene Simmons. The song is called Stormy Weather, and it is for the Reagan biopic, the movie coming out. It's not a documentary, it's a biopic on Ronald Reagan.